Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. This morning, we've had an opportunity to talk to members of Milwaukee's Common Council. We were just joined by 6th District Alderwoman Milele Coggs, and it is now my pleasure to have the 14th District Alderman Tony Zielinski join the show. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I've been told that I have a face for radio, so I'm especially happy to be here.
It's my pleasure to have you here, and I would like to first give our viewers a chance to know more about you. So you were a graduate of St. John's Military Academy in Delafield. You have a BA from UW-Milwaukee, a master's from Cardinal Stritch University, and you're also, I guess, a proud graduate of Marquette University Law School. So an impressive background, of course. Tell us a little bit more about your political background.
Well, my political background started in 1988. I was first elected at that point as a Milwaukee County Board Supervisor, and I was able to get reelected every year until 2004, which is when I ran for alderman and got elected. And
your district, what areas border?
It's about 60% Bayview, and then it goes to the southern part, Tippecanoe area, and then it goes west to the Zablocki neighborhood and Ohio Park neighborhoods as well.
And so for your constituents who are watching, what are some of the main things that you are working on in your district as we speak?
Well, business revitalization is a key component, especially along Kinnickinnick Avenue. We've got a number of new multi-million-dollar developments taking place on that strip. Avalon Theater will be reopened sometime in the next month or two. We have a major public art bus shelter that's being built that is more monumental than anything in the country.
Wow.
And then in other parts of my district, we have an indoor soccer complex we're about to announce opening up around 5th and Harrison area in the western part of my district.
That's awesome. And you just recently worked really hard on passing the sex offenders residency restriction ordinance. I think that's important to mention.
Exactly. I mean, that's a very important issue. Time after time, I would get notices from the police department that serious sex offenders are being located in my district, as they were being located all over the city of Milwaukee. And so I did work very hard for actually a number of years to get this ordinance approved so that no serious sex offenders can be located within 2,000 square feet of a school, park, daycare center, or playground, or any place that kids congregate. So that passed last month, and it'll actually kick in early October.
That's awesome. And we were having a conversation off the air, and this is the first time you're announcing it, but people will probably read more about it in the paper in the near future. You're working on getting LED lights across the city as well. Talk about that.
Yeah, basically what I'm working is on high-tech jobs that would be created in the city of Milwaukee. And basically it's at manufacturing LED lights in the city.
I like that because we're talking about saving lots of money when you're looking at budgets and things of that nature, saving taxpayers some dollars and being green.
Exactly, and I'm working with the professor who has the patent for the best, most efficient LED light in the world.
Wow.
So if we can start the manufacturing here in Milwaukee, we can ship this all over the world, which is what we really need to do. We've got to bring back manufacturing jobs of the future.
I like it a lot. And early in the show, we were discussing some of the things, Alderwoman Coggs and I, taking place in the aftermath of 18-year-old Michael Brown being shot in Ferguson, Missouri, and the killing of Dontre Hamilton here in Milwaukee, and a long list of others across the country. As I stated then, it's something we're hearing much too often, and you have made the headlines on saying that you want to see Milwaukee police officers wear those body cameras. Talk more about that.
Exactly. I feel that body cameras are a win-win-win situation. We heard of win-win situations. This is a win-win-win situation because number one, it's going to help protect citizens because we're going to have cameras on there. At the same time, it's going to help protect police officers that follow the rules because they're going to have vindication right there on tape. But the third benefit is to the taxpayers, because I strongly believe that once police officers are equipped with these body cameras, it will save the city enormous amounts of money in terms of court costs and those types of related costs as well. You know, if you look at the latest incident in Red Arrow Park, had there been cameras there, one way or the other, we would know what's going on and we would save a lot of money. The only people that wouldn't benefit would be the attorneys because they're going to lose a lot of money on the court cases. And I'm not too concerned about providing more employment for attorneys. I think they're doing okay right now.
Well, even with the illegal strip searches, there are a number of lawsuits lined up dealing with that. And one young man did just win about $500,000 from the city based on that. You're right in looking at the number of lawsuits that cost taxpayers versus the amount of money it would cost to uniform our officers with these body cameras.
Yeah, I think that there's some other potential cost savings as well, because if a police officer is going in to address a potentially violent situation and that individual knows that that police officer has a camera and he notifies that individual, I think he's going to be a little bit more careful, which could result in less of a need for the police officer to engage in forcible arrests. And then, you know, if less police officers engage in forcible arrests, they're less likely to get injured on the job, which can save us money that way as well. And I think the more we look at this, there's going to be more and more ways we can save money.
You want Mayor Barrett to include this in his 2015 executive budget, and you said if in fact he doesn't do that, you're going to take the steps to make an amendment to put it in the budget.
Exactly. So I'm throwing it out there to the mayor. This is something we need, and I'm encouraging him to do so. If he doesn't, I'm willing to introduce the budget amendment, and I will do so. And
the mayor has said that he is interested in learning more about the cameras, and I do believe there is going to be some sort of a test market with 50 cameras, I believe. And what I'd like to know is if you have had a one-on-one conversation with the mayor on what he potentially wants to do for the long term.
I've talked with the police department directly about these cameras and the process that they're using to try and get these. And I'm also in the process of communicating with the mayor. I thought I'd let a little bit more time settle where he can digest, get more information, so when we meet, we could hit the ground running.
I did see a study conducted by Cambridge University that suggested that one of the police departments in California had 89% less complaints because of these police cameras. Now, when we look about costs, online price searches show that wearable body cameras for police would be listed for one brand, $400 a piece. So for the Milwaukee Police Department, you know, kind of figuring in how many officers we have, that would be an estimated $750,000. So is this something that the city can afford?
Yeah, I mean, definitely with the upfront cost, we would recover our money many times over down the road. We probably won't start with equipping every single police officer in the matter of 1 year. We would start with 50 and then gradually expand the program, because there's going to be some kinks we're going to need to work out. So from an efficiency standpoint, we're better off putting this in phases.
Yeah, and another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because you were talking about this particular situation with the body cameras. Am I correct? There are dashboard cameras. Are there dash cameras for police cars?
Yes.
So how helpful have they been? Because I recall reading that there has been some failure with those particular cameras in the past. So will we have to have a concern that the body cameras would have that same type of, I don't know, track record is what I'm looking for.
I think that the best case scenario is looking at other communities that have already experienced the body cameras.
Yeah. Because
there's a difference between the cars and the body cameras, and that city that you reference in California is actually, the leader. They only have about 70 police officers in their entire, community, so it's a little bit of a different story than Milwaukee. But I think Milwaukee has a chance to be a national leader as far as this particular issue. And if things work out for Milwaukee, I wouldn't be surprised if this reverberates all throughout the country to larger police departments as well.
Yeah, and Brookfield police are actually wearing these cameras now, so it should be interesting to kind of get a feel for how, but different type of feel when you talk about that's suburban.
Brooklyn, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like the suburbs and the city are two different types of.
I don't know if you need the cameras, to go look at the cat that's up at the top of the tree you have to bring down. Helps a little bit, I guess.
Oh, wow. And so when we talk about safety, right there in your district, talk a little bit more about the importance of making sure all of your constituents, too, feel safe in their community.
Exactly. Well, my district has one of the lowest crime rates in the city, and we're always working very proactively to make sure that we keep it that way. We're very aggressive in terms of getting block watches started in the area, and we're very aggressive, with that and other, tools to keep it that way. You know,
Well,
and business revitalization, those types of things, help keep the area moving in a very positive direction.
Well, it goes without saying, I really do appreciate you stopping by and giving us your insight and your thoughts on definitely this issue that we're going to hear more about, but also to give our viewers a chance to get to know you better. Appreciate all of your time. Mr. Tony Zielinski is the Alderman for Milwaukee's 14th District. You can log on to milwaukee.gov/Alderman Zielinski to learn more about anything that we've talked about today, and that is going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. I do thank you for watching, and I hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues, Milwaukee. Have a great day.